3點幾咧，做撚咩做？
And to explore how yeast works in a pancake, I would like to take you to the Horn of Africa, specifically to Somalia. The Somali injera is from the same family of pancakes as the Ethiopian injera that you might remember from my Ethiopian video, and it's the staple food of many people in the region. So I'm not quite sure how authentic this recipe is, but here's my shot at it. We begin by making a pre-ferment with corn flour, teff flour, that's a local grain, and yeast. After 2 hours, it got very bubbly and active, so I added wheat flour, sugar, and finally some water until we get a thickness that's somewhere between the blin and the American pancake. After another overnight rest, the batter is a super shaggy and frothy mess, as it should be, so we add a ladleful into the center of our pan and then try to spread it around in a spiral. I obviously need some practice, but the most important thing is achieved. There's contrast between those super spongy thicker parts and crispier thin bits. The injera is done when the upper side is fully cooked, but you don't flip it to keep the top soft. It's getting really interesting because I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this. What does it even taste like? The way this would traditionally be served, as far as I could research, is with a little bit of butter and something sweet like honey. Ooh, very, very cool. Very, very cool. I believe that's how you do it. Just grab a piece with your hands. It's very yeasty, which, I mean, that's no surprise. The fermentation has given it like a mild sourness. It pairs so well with the honey and the butter. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can also taste that this is not just wheat flour. There's some other really interesting, more complex stuff. So that's really cool, man. That's also definitely has a little bit of a chewiness. So before we close the chapter on leavened doughs, there's one that I simply couldn't miss in this video, and that's the Indian dosa. This one I have also never cooked before, and in fact, I might have never had one before. So I looked up the Serious Eats recipe, and it better be worth it because it is a process. We begin by soaking long grain rice and a sort of bean called urad dal with a pinch of fenugreek for a couple of hours, after which we blend it to a fine paste, helping ourselves with the soaking liquid from the dal. This batter now has to ferment in a warm place for at least 8 or up to 24 hours. It definitely had a sourdough type of smell to it, but I was actually expecting it to be much frothier and active. But anyway, the way you make this is a bit reminiscent of the injera. You first spread some batter on the pan and swirl it around with the back of your ladle. Once the batter has fully set, you can spread some ghee on top and fry for a few moments longer. You can try making a roll out of it straight in the pan because the dosa sets and firms up extremely quickly as soon as it leaves the heat. So yeah, but this one, hey, that was really successful. So this is cool. I think the fermentation definitely worked. It smells nice and toasty. That's good. So traditionally, you would enjoy this type of dosa with a coconut chutney or something like that. I made masala potatoes here. I was gonna put them inside. Masala potatoes inside a DIY dosa. Ooh, the excitement is real. Let's try. First of all, these are some good masala potatoes, but the dosa is lovely. Here I have lots of dosa and just a little bit of masala potato. That's amazing. That is amazing. I need to try some of it plain. So first of all, it has this super delicious crunchy exterior. Those crispy bits are out of this world. It definitely has a nice tangy note from the fermentation, and it pairs so well with intensely flavored Indian food. This is the surprise of the day for me. This is so good. So at this point, we've done all sorts of things with the batter, but there's one thing we haven't done yet, which is adding things into the batter. And one of the most common ways to do that would be to add potato. You will find recipes like that all over Europe and beyond, from the Jewish latkes to the German Kartoffelpuffer, but somehow this really seems to be a thing in Sweden, where these guys are called ragmunk. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's basically just grated starchy potatoes held together by a pretty normal wheat flour pancake batter and then fried in loads of clarified butter. People of Sweden, how good is your pancake? Let's see. I get it. The thing is, I think potatoes, more than pretty much any other food, they have this ability to make food taste homey, cozy, and that's what's going on here. Like, this very much is like a grandma meal. Like, I don't know, my grandma doesn't make these, I don't think, but this tastes like my grandma could be making them. Swedish people, I like your pancake, and let me tell you, it's worth trying this with applesauce. It's really good. Like, it's really good. So to end this epic journey into the world of pancakes with the bang that it deserves, there's one more thing we have to talk about. And yes, I'm talking about what might be the king of all mixed batter pancakes, the Japanese okonomiyaki. So the very original idea of okonomiyaki, and that's even in the translation of the name, is that you throw together everything you like, you drowse it in a thick pancake batter, and then it's cooked right in front of you, like tableside, usually by yourself, but sometimes also by a chef. So obviously there are countless variations on the okonomiyaki, but a classic one would look something like this. You add cabbage, scallions, minced pickled ginger, bonito tuna flakes, and then this guy, a Chinese yam. You want to grate it into the mix, but be careful, this stuff is very weird and almost like slimy, but it gives this whole thing its signature texture. So yeah, then we're finishing this with some flour, egg, and dashi broth as our liquid base. Okay, last but definitely not least. Oh my god, it's moving. Anyhow, what was I saying? Yes, okonomiyaki. Well, I've had this before. I love it. You should actually watch my takoyaki video if you're interested in a lot of techniques and things related to okonomiyaki as well. I mean, this might be one of my absolute favorite pancakes of all time. Itadakimasu. Boom! Takes me right back to Japan with one bite. First of all, amazing base layer of umami thanks to the dashi stock in the batter. Some great crunch from the cabbage. And then, of course, like layers and layers of amazing flavors. The spicy ginger, the tangy and salty okonomiyaki sauce, the super umami and salty bonito flakes, those little like sharp accents of the green onions, the nori, and of course the creamy, rich mayo. So good. I hope you guys enjoyed this journey into the fabulous world of pancakes. I mean, there are so many more in the world that you could probably dedicate a whole channel just to pancakes. Let me know in the comments what your favorite is. Hope you're subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. See you there.